guys, what's up? I'm Brian here, doing another video for you guys, and this time we're taking a look at Transformers Robots in Disguise Deployer Fracture. And I will say this just beforehand, because I want to get this out of the way, that I don't think the Deployer gimmick works for the robot mode as much as the drift figure. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. Now, as you can see, he comes with his own Mini-Con. He comes with Airazor. Yes, Airazor. I almost forgot his name. But yeah, he just connects on the side on this little sidecar thing for the vehicle mode, and he launches out like so. You just push down on this tab, and you have to make sure that this is on the floor. Which, by the way, I'm just going to point out, because I forgot it in the drift review, is you need this to touch the ground to be able to launch out the Mini-Con thing for the alt mode. I forgot to mention that. So there is that. But anyways, for this guy, it's just a little tab at the bottom here. And once you have that on the ground, you just push the button on the top and he will launch out like so. Funny enough, I've gotten this to lock in, and this won't launch out the Mini-Con, but this will. The other side will. And I don't really understand why it does that. But sometimes this button locks into place, and you have to push the bottom button to be able to get that to launch out. I think that's hilarious. It's just funny for me. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at Airazor before we take a look at Fracture. And here he is with all the Mini-Con weaponizer stuff and whatever you want to call it. I think it's fine for this, a little bit more than some of the other Mini-Cons. I don't know, I think the blue color scheme actually works for this guy. Now, to transform him, you want to open up the arms and flip up the legs, and there you go, and he's got a unicorn horn. So you have that. But the blue color scheme actually kind of works for this. I don't know why, just for me, it works. So, there's that. Anyways, that's what he looks like with all the Energizer weapon stuff. Let's go ahead and detach all of that. Now, before we continue on to the Mini-Con, there is something else that I'd like to point out, and that is with Fracture. Now, Drift does the same thing, but you can take these little bits and attach it to the side like so, and you can do the same thing with the other flame bit. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and show that off. So yeah, you just add little bits of flames on the side there. It's not much, but you can do so. So there's that. You can also attach these little weapon things to the hands of the Mini-Cons like so. And I believe that this guy also carries the same type of hand thing. So you can attach this like so. Yep, you can do that. So despite attaching to the legs, you can still attach that to the hands. Pretty nice. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at Airazor in his Torpedo mode. I think that looks alright. You know, you can definitely see, you know, this is the legs, these are the arms, and, well, that's the head right up there. But at least the mouth and eyes hide pretty well. Unless you look at it straight from the back. But I think from here it looks fine. And I like the chest and how that forms this section of the Torpedo. It's hard to explain, but I do like this. So, with that out of the way, underneath, you get a little bit more gray with the back legs, but, yeah, I think it's fine. Anyways, you open that up and flip up the legs. Legs have a bit of articulation, so you can do whatever you want with that. And there he is. And, I think he looks pretty cool, you know? He looks the part for the show. I do like that. And just so you guys can see this, here they both are, and I think they look pretty good together. Despite this guy having a lot of red, it's replaced with gray for this guy, so that's pretty good. But they look pretty good together. I like the purple between both of them. I don't think it's completely the same, but it's pretty close, and I do like that. Also, you get the game bit sticker thing right on the front there. Anyways, once again, you can transform this guy into his Torpedo mode and attach this into the Fracture figure and launch that out like so. But what you can also do is combine all the Mini-Cons that he had from the show. So, and I hit the lamp. So, and I hit the camera. I keep hitting things. Anyways, transform this guy like so, and you can attach all the Mini-Cons they had from the show. Like so. There you go. That's pretty cool. I do like that. And also, I guess you can try and get this guy to ride Fracture from the top here, if you guys want that. So, yeah, with that out of the way, that's pretty much Airazor. So, there we go. Anyways, Fracture is, okay, I guess. This is more based on the, Cybertronian motorcycle mode with the sidecar thing. I guess if you like the sidecar, that's that. It's not like the Prowl thing where it transforms into its own armor set, but, it's whatever. Anyways, the transformation is pretty basic, so you're not going to get much out of it, but it is kind of tricky because some things do get stuck from the figure. But yeah, it's pretty basic. You get the wheel on the front, you get the wheel on the back, you get the wheel on the side. It rolls, you know, not too well, but it rolls. You have to watch out, too, because there's this little tab thing attached to this deployer weapon thing that you have to make sure fits in this tiny hole, this tiny gap section right in there. So you see that little tab? It goes right into this little gap section. So just make sure that you got that locked into place. And also it looks like you get a torpedo thing, jet thing, booster thing from the sidecar too. So that's something, I guess. But, yeah, that's pretty much the alt mode. You get the handlebars on the side here, and you get the feet on the front that don't look good. But, whatever, I just call this the Cybertronian mode. At least he had a Cybertronian bike mode in the show, so you get that. You do get the game piece, but that is covered by the shoulder armor bits, so there's that. Not as obnoxious as some of the other figures. Let's go ahead and transform Fracture. Now, again, it's pretty simple, but you can get stuck at a couple of points. First, what you want to do is flip out the feet and pull out the arms, and this side is trickier to get out than the other, but it seems to be fine just now, so there's that. Anyways, open up the chest and pull out the feet and legs and whatnot. Flip out the shoulder bits, you didn't really see that. Flip out the shoulder bits to the side right there. Close up the chest. And split the legs. And there you have Fracture in his robot mode. So again, very simple, but sometimes the arms get stuck way too easily. Now, as I said before, this guy with his deployer gimmick doesn't work as well as Drift does for the robot mode. And I'll explain why in a second. Anyways, you can transform this guy and attach him into here. What you can also do is attach those flame weapon pieces onto the sides of the arms like so you can leave it like that, or I believe, oh, can't drop that, I believe you can leave it like that if you want, so there you go. He does have the same basic 5mm port weapon system, so you can attach a weapon onto that, so if you want, just gonna plug that in like so you have that. Yeah, he can fall down pretty easily because he's got a giant sidecar thing on the side, so you gotta watch out for that. Anyways, what you can do with the Mini-Cons is you can put them in the deployer or you can attach it to this tab. Now, when you attach it to the tab, you gotta get the shoulder out of the way. But hey, you can do that. It's a thing you can do. So there's that. Anyways, what you need to do is the same thing as the Drift. You need to separate the legs, which, why do they even do this? It just bothers me. But anyways, you're supposed to separate the legs, pull down on this tab, and then launch out the Mini-Con. The unfortunate side to that is, if you split the legs too far, sometimes the deployer doesn't want to fold down all the way because the leg hits that. Pretty hard to see from this side, so let's go ahead and see it from this side. You can see that's hitting the leg. So that's not good. It's supposed to be like that, but sometimes it will hit that. So, there we go. And then sometimes, if you leave it closed, well, it's not going to want to do its job, even though it's doing its job now. So I don't understand that, okay? I don't get that anymore. I don't get this figure. It's weird. But anyways, some of the gray is just normal gray, and then some of the gray is actually a lavender or kind of purplish color, which is weird. I think the face is fine. You do get rubber for the mohawk, so there's that. Articulation, you move the arms forward and back, and out and in. Even though this is part of the transformation, you do get forward and back. You do get a knee, but you have to pop that out of place. And then you do get a foot. So you get some more articulation out of this guy than you would for Drift. Except that Drift has a lot more articulation from the foot due to transformation. But technically that's not articulation, that's just part of the transformation. You do get the game piece on the side, no head articulation, so that's unfortunate. And yeah, that doesn't look too good, especially with this. It just looks odd to me. I know that a lot of people got Fracture because we didn't get a Warrior Class Fracture, but now we have a Warrior Class Fracture, which I will compare right here. And I gotta say that Fracture is one of my favorite Transformers from the Robots in Disguise lineup from last year. He just looks so good, and I just love this figure. It's so cool. I really do. I think it looks very nice. As for this guy, I think he has the look, but I just love this guy way more. I think he outdoes this completely. So, if you're going to get one of the Fractures to have on the shelf, get this one. Even though he's got different tones of purple throughout him, this guy just looks way better compared to this. Except for the arms. I like the arms on this one a little bit more from the shape, but I do understand what they're doing for this, so I can't really complain too much. But yeah, more paint applications on this guy too. You get some red, you get some black, which looks very nice. The head looks incredible, and you can move that side to side. So there is that. And you also get a weapon, which is pretty cool. So, with that out of the way, do I recommend Fracture? I don't recommend him as much as I'd recommend Drift, but it's the same thing as Drift. If you want something to add to the Mini-Con stuff, if you have a couple of Mini-Cons and you want to add a toy, you know, something to play with, I'd say, yeah, go ahead and get this. But, I would get the Drift first. I think the Drift does way better, in just my honest opinion. But this guy looks pretty good with all his Decepticon buddies, so that's nice. And you do get Airazor out of it, which I really do like too. I think he's a pretty cool Mini-Con. If not Rat-Bat, Airazor is my favorite Mini-Con from the Decepticons that I have from the first two waves. So, with that out of the way, I thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun doodads. Oh! And because I keep forgetting, there, size comparison. So, anyways, with that out of the way, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.